was always the devil's advocate. Like, are you sure? Throw the doubt out. Always throwing doubt. Where's the proof? Still to have any empirical evidence myself, but I think a lot of it is faith-based, and that's the cool thing too. Is maybe that's where it is. It's a spiritual thing. You're supposed to feel it from your heart and your soul, and kind of beating the vibration to feel and then take the truth. Maybe that's what I know, that he was always honest and he had a belief, so that was for him. But he was always full of love, and I continue to hear stories that he was very much, whenever someone had it tough, you could always rely on Rob. He was there. So if you needed him, or you needed something, like, he was always willing to be there. And we all know he kind of he was a tough person to be around sometimes. Yeah. He was very passionate, I guess is a way to say it. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of open the mic for other people to share their memories with him, so we can kind of get a glimpse of everyone else's views and what they felt and what it was, their experiences. So whoever wants to come up and actually, I have one story about Shambhala I want to share. Yeah. So when I was younger, I didn't believe any of it, right? But the pyramid thing, this is what I'll tell you, kind of made me a believer. We were up on Panther Meadows, and I was like, oh no, it's not real, it doesn't do anything, da-da-da. And him and my dad, because my dad was in the band at the time, we lived traveling around, going to festivals, doing this massaging, and, meditating a lot. I used to meditate all the time. But we were up there, and then Shambhala was like, yeah, you can. And he did this figure 8 for like 20, 30 minutes, just consistently with like his whole body, kind of with his head. And he turned this cloud up in the sky, because it was like all blue and there was like a few clouds. And he turned it to a figure 8. And I remember it blew my mind. I was like, exactly. Even Shambhala doesn't remember that, but he's the one who did it. It's hilarious. Oh man, I must have been like 7 or 6 or 8. It was a keynote memory for me in that sense. But here's Shambhala, the man himself who made the figure 8 of the clouds. He manifested with the water molecules.
Thank you, Jasper. Wow, I there's so many stories I hear, but I don't remember that. Well, I remember it at some level. In the Akashic, in our true memory, it's all there. Hello, beautiful Jade. Thank you for being here. I mean, look, she's quite a unique character in this mix here. The little upcoming blooming goddess. And yes, as we honor the inner child in all of us. And with regard to that, that's sort of part of what I'm sharing about Rob. Is, thank you, is that we had a lot of amazing times together. That's for sure. We were living at Morningstar together in a yurt, a little one-room yurt, next to a bigger yurt, Shalimar and Grace, and where Amachi came when she came her first year to America. She was up there. She was searching for her way at that time, where she was going to create her legacy in America. But anyway, some of my favorite times with Rob were singing with him. Because I love music, and he had a fabulous tenor voice. And when I would get inspired and get him inspired, he would start singing, with me and off the cuff, and that was some of my favorite moments, along with, other numerous ones, such as our journey to the Rainbow Gathering, maybe in 1995, was it? These years. It was in Oregon that year. I know Google remembers what year that was. And we journeyed up in his van up to Oregon together to the Rainbow Gathering. And Jasper probably remembers a few of those Rainbow Gatherings with Dad.
Every summer.
But anyway, I just wanted to say that today I was thinking when with a lot of the different things we were doing with the energy going into higher states of consciousness, that That's what I saw Rob. I said, it could be imagination, could be real. It's like that cloud Jasper's telling you about. I can't testify to that cloud right now, but I'm glad you can. But anyway, so Rob was, crossing over here and waving with the Venusian starship because he loved Valiant Thor, one of the commanders of the ships from Venus, and he turned me on to Valiant Thor, and I felt really connected to that. When I was like 5 years old, I think I was 6, I don't remember, 5 or 6, the day the earth stood still. And I really believe that was a true story that happened on earth, and the government's rejection of the more peaceful technology and peace offering of the Venusians going for, their, which I think Eisenhower was part of that, and he regretted it later. That's why he said what he said at the very end. It's like when you get to the very end, you're free to speak the truth about beware of the military-industrial complex. But anyway, I just feel like Rob is with Valiant Thor. So we just say, yes, greetings thank you in the service of the light of the sun and the central sun, bringing the light of God to all of us. Adonai.
So Rob holds a special place in my heart. I had a really serious accident, shattered my femur. I had a cast up the hair. I was just broken in many ways, and he was like an angel for me and just helped me get over all of that. So
here, first off, thank you, beloved Katia, for being representing the Violet Flame and showing love and dedication and making sure that Rob's legacy is continued. I think I was becoming more and more interested in ET contactees and metaphysical spirituality like the Ascended Masters. And I started to hear about Rob Potter. And just looking at his face, it's like he represents that ideal of a better world, and hearing his stories about that he really had contact. And then I found out about his conference because of Amnik here, because she was going to be here, and I had become interested in her material. So I'm like, I got to go to his conference, The Promise Revealed. But the first couple of years, 2018 maybe, I couldn't make it. But in 2020, I was determined to be here. So that's how I got to know Rob and helped out as a volunteer. So I met a lot of you in here over that time. I think I've been here every year since 2020. And I feel like he was a real special soul. He was trying to bridge a lot of different things. He was also a very cool person. Like, he wanted to be cool. Sometimes I wanted to be a better friend with him, and it's like he was like, well, Brad, do this, Brad, do that. But he also always found me a place to stay. Every year I was here, he would arrange for me to stay with somebody. I was roommate with Alex Collier, and I was really happy about that. And I got to meet all of you, and I feel like I'm going to keep coming here every year. Hopefully you will keep this going. I really want you to do that. I'm praying to God and the masters and the Telos beings to make this happen. Thank you, everybody. Help her out. Thank you, Amen.
Hello, everyone. I'm Deborah, and I just love Rob's passion. His just passion for life, and I align with it. The passion for the awakening, the passion for these times. And I came to almost every conference, and I helped him with his conferences because I have a large e-list, and I would help him promote, and he wasn't very organized most of the time. But I would do what I could to really get the word out, because what he created here was so special. And I remember the first time he brought Corey Good, after the whole secret space program had like blown open in Gaia, and it was Corey's first time to ever talk to anyone, and he got Corey to come up here. And that was really special because Corey was a very unique whistleblower, that kind of broke open all of that. And Rob was a special friend. I'd have a really incredible phone conversation with him for 20 minutes, and it was all him. It was all him downloading constantly for 20 minutes, but it was so fascinating, and I was on a long car ride, for an hour, so I just listened to him. The stories, the passion, the outrageousness he had was just really amazing, and it just really touched my heart, and I call him in my spiritual court an ally. We have a similar mission, and we work together, and the other thing I appreciated, and I want to honor another beloved who always came up to the conferences, is Celestine Starr. Yeah, and she passed over 2 years ago, but she was always at the conferences. And last year, Rob let me do my panel on Ascension and invite Celestine Starr. So I don't know if any of you were there. Yeah, so we had a medium, and I forget her name, but she's always here. Jane. I had a reading after Celestine passed, and Jane gave very accurate information about Celestine. So I asked Rob, can I have Celestine on the panel? He said, sure. And so Jane was there, and I got a big picture of Celestine to present her. And she answered all the questions on Ascension and what she was doing and what was happening. And here's a little drawing, I guess, of Celestine.
She always draws when she does that.
Okay, yeah. So I'm sure Celestine was helping Rob, kind of showing him around on the other side, because I'm sure they're both on mission still. Celestine was definitely on mission, and I would imagine Rob is still on mission, and maybe he saw that he could be more effective on the other side, so he just decided to pop over. And I'm sure he's here now, and I just want to send him so much love for the amazing being he was, and just living on the edge of doing these crazy conferences, which are crazy, as Katya knows now. And I know I produced the Harmony Festival for 33 years, so it's a crazy, crazy passion. But so much love to Rob, and so much love to all of you, because he brought us all together, and it's really great to be with like-minded evolutionary souls. So thank you.
I love Rob like a brother. He was the first one to recognize the significance of the books I was writing and to invite me out to the conferences about 10 years ago. And we've been on many trips, many adventures together. Rob played a key role in the UFO community, metaphysical community, in bringing people together. Just like Gabriel Green and George Van Tassel at the interplanetary spacecraft conventions. He realized that this message was so important, that we truly are at a juncture point in history. And this message really is important. there's so many forces working in the world today with nuclear proliferation, the militarization of outer space, artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, all these crucial changes that are taking place on the earth that we really need to learn from our brothers and sisters in outer space. And he recognized that from the earliest times, growing up not far in Laguna Beach from George Adamski's Tibetan School of Wisdom, the Royal Order of Tibet, just 2 doors down, and working with Fred Bell and Gabriel Green of Amalgamated Flying Saucer Clubs of America. And today, sometimes we see in the UFO community a lot of contention and a lot of ego getting in the way, but Rob pushed beyond all of that and brought people together. He wanted everybody to have a voice, everybody to have a say, because everybody is important. Bringing these ideas of the contactees to the forefront, because they're the cosmic postman, as that was what Rob was. He was the perfect example of the cosmic postman. He was going to deliver the message no matter what. Nothing was going to stand in the way, and I really admire him for that. So during the 3 weeks right before he passed away, we traveled up and down the length of California, and in his hometown of Laguna Beach, I met many of the friends that he grew up with, and we gave a talk at the community center there, and Rob was so happy to be back home and to show me all the places where he grew up, and even the lifeguard stand where he worked. And we went to a malt shop there on the beach, and it was just really wonderful. We went to Joshua Tree, and there was like a communal center there, a settlement, and the place was packed. And I was so glad that so many people were there to hear Rob speak and to share some important wisdom, words of wisdom and gnosis with them. And then a funny thing happened to us on the road. We were right outside of Desert Center, the exit, just where George Adamski had his first encounter with Venusians on November 20th, 1952, and there was this huge ship in the air right above us, and it was like coming right at us. It was just it was huge, and it was just maybe about 50 feet off the ground, and we were so excited, we wanted to get underneath it and look at it. And then when we looked up, we thought, oh, it's the Goodyear blimp. So Rob and I had a wonderful time, and then we went to Sedona to the Center for Christ Consciousness, Global Center for Christ Consciousness, and we were doing a presentation in there, and there were only 5 people there at that time, but we realized something, that we were going to go ahead and give a full presentation no matter what, because God and the angels brought those 5 people there, and it was important for us to deliver the message. That's what we're here for, and I know that God wanted Rob up there for some reason. So now he's there with Dr. Frank, Dr. Frankie Stranges, and Valiant Thor, and the Angel Force. And Godspeed to you, Rob. God bless you.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Casey, we have a chair here. Casey, chair right here. Got this chair now.
All right, here's your opportunity.
I know Rob a long time. He's an old friend, and he had such spirit to live. Nothing slowed him down, stubborn and all. And but it was funny. My really close friend that also knew Rob very well. He goes, he gets around. His spirit is like a bullfrog that doesn't he doesn't slow down, and he enjoys life to the max. And I mean, he would get like worked up and all, but he had a good spirit, good heart. So I'm happy to be here to honor him. And I liked how he was really into spirituality. What do you want to say, Jim? Thanks.
Something I really remember about Rob was when I went to the first conference when I came here, and I was feeling pretty down about the world and thinking, is everything just hopeless? And then I came to Rob's conference, and he was like, "Hey, we got this. We already won." I was like, "What? We might have a chance." And he gave me so much hope, and I always remember that. Also, I was really felt a lot of sadness when he passed, and this, as a adult, I couldn't remember the last time since someone had passed that I had really had shed some tears and was feeling some loss. And I thought, well, what is it that's making me so sad? And I just thought, well, I just never get to talk to him again and hear all his wonderful information. But that I'm so comforted to know that he has just so much information that we can always still tap into online. And I have been enjoying watching his YouTube channels and reviewing information I had already heard and hearing new information that I hadn't come across. So I would encourage you all to remember that that's all there. And lastly, I wanted to say that on the day that he passed, I noticed that Venus was making a harmonious aspect to Pluto. It was exact sextile at the third degree. So Venus in Aries, and Rob had a lot of strong Aries energy, and then Pluto dealing with transformation, death, and rebirth. So when I saw that he passed on that day, and I could see that he had that aspect, I just thought, like, well, the opportunity was there, and he just decided to take it. So that was just really cool for me to see. So I always and also so appreciated all his conferences, and that he gave me opportunity to speak. I hadn't really done much speaking before Rob, but he invited me, and I didn't want to turn down the invitation, and it just opened up a whole new world to me. So he's just so instrumental in so many of our lives, and I always appreciate all my time and experience with him.
I forgot to say one more thing. So Rob loved my massages, and after I heard he died, I felt his energy a lot at my place because he liked coming there for healing. And I took pictures of Jade, and then I heard when he was dead, he loved purple with his purple sheets. And if you want to see if there's pictures of Jade, and his spirit is in the picture, the violet flame.
It's like you don't have a job next year.
That's there.
So yeah, when I first met Rob, I heard about him first. I was doing readings at Soul Connections in 2021. And everybody kept coming up to me asking, hey, are you going to Rob Potter's? Going to Rob Potter's? I'm like, who's Rob Potter? And I'm like thinking Harry Potter or something like that. And serious, right? I used to think Shasta was a soda. And so these people are like, hey, you're gonna go to Rob Potter's? And so eventually I come across somebody and they're like, yeah, let me call him up right now. It was actually Lori Spania. Yeah, Lori Spania. She called him up. She was like, hey Rob, let's get this guy Darius over on your show, your thing. So that's exactly how it happened. I met him. He was like, yeah, dude, let's get you in, man. Don't even trip about it, dude. Just let's go. And so that's how I got entered into his shows when I first got here, right? And so after that, we developed a cool bond because he had information for me, and then I had some information that was pretty interesting too. He, just like with body work, he loves the body work, so I would do reflexology for him a lot. And that would help out. I would work on his knees a lot because that's where he would want it. As far as relieving that pressure so he could walk better and things like that. But aside from that, when I'd go over and do these works with him, he would always teach me things. And he let me actually listen to the last conversation that he had with Tom Melville. Yeah, Tom Melville. I heard that last conversation, and I don't know if I should say this. I recorded it. And yeah, that was cool, and I actually worked on him, and then 5 days before he passed. 5 days. I've been doing reflexology for him since like 2022. But it was 5 days before he passed, and he was just in a lot of pain. And before, like when I was with him, but I know that, I heard some of the things that were on his mind and some of the things that he had been processing at that time frame. And it was just, hearing what was on his mind, hearing his thoughts. Jane mentioned that he transitioned on a significant conjunction. Well, in the numerology, he chose to leave on the 5-5 portal. Then when you add that whole thing up together, it adds up to 55. So it's like quad 4 5s all together, right? And then you got that 55. That's the ace of the sword. So it's like he was a sword of Michael, right? And just like the sword, he knew how to use the tongue, right? Very sharp, very direct, very intelligent. But yeah, I just wanted to say I learned a lot from Rob, and I say that he is a good influence, still influencing what's happening, and also that he was an embodiment of his teaching. He was an embodiment of his teaching. He wasn't a skinny chef. He ate his own food. Like he practiced what he preached. No one's perfect, right? But man, there was a lot to be learned from his wisdom. And he was very widely respected by many. And is widely respected by many and will continue to be so. That's my piece. Thank you.
Well, it's interesting because we were, Raymond just said about the Integratron and Van Tassel and all that. And after adding up what Jane said and what Darius just said, so the 55 feet is the diameter of the human tube torus, which goes to 0 point, which fits inside the Integratron perfectly by Van Tassel's design. So there we go.
We stopped over there.
Oh, you did? Cool.
Yeah, we went to the sound.
Did you guys see Eric Rankin by any chance on Laguna Beach? Eric's one of the only people that can do workshops there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, him and I have been working together for 13 years now, trying to crack Van Tassel's codes.
Yeah.
Well, you guys all got exposed to sonic geometry. I mean, that came from, something Eric and I have been working on. Yeah, so it's interesting because my first induction to Rob Potter was actually my friend Robert, and it was on a trip to the Integratron. We had just put together the Factor 9 all the way to 2160, and had the Genesis crystal, not the Genesis pattern yet, because I didn't have tone 2520, but we had everything from 360 to 2160, and we were going over there to display it for people. And I remember being in Joshua Tree when we were energizing all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh man, Rob Potter's about to have his conference over in Mount Shasta." I'm like, "Who the hell is Rob Potter?" I had no freaking idea. And then I think it was the year after that was COVID, and I moved up here. And then I was in a Motel 6 for a year. Still heard about Rob Potter, didn't know who he was. And then I was with my ex, and then I brought Robin up here and rescued her from the torments of Olympia, Washington, where if you did anything other than go to the mailbox or go to the grocery store, you could be arrested for violating COVID. So I rescued her and brought her here. Found an apartment in December, and here comes this, looking just like that, out to take his trash out, Rob Potter. So that's kind of how I met him. He's my neighbor. Yeah. And I think it was that year was the Christmas party, right, with Crystal. So go over there. He's larger than life. I think you were there too, in his keyboard in his house. "Oh, Gary, you got to come over to my place. We're going to have a little Christmas party thing. We're going to do this thing called a Crystal Light Show." He's like, "Yeah, I need you to come over and do something really important." I'm like, "Okay." So I go next door when he asked me to now mind you, I had about 2.5 bottles of wine already and some champagne. He hands me a big joint. He's like, "We need to make the smoke for the show, and I need you to do it because I got to focus on the music stuff, I'm like, "Rob, I really can't do this for you, So that was something funny, and it even got even better because, we did the laser show, and I don't know what I was doing in the big crystal he had on the table, but when I was doing the thing, I made, the Metatron's cube in sacred geometry with the laser refractions on the ceiling. And he's like, oh man, we're getting ready to go." You know how Rob gets intense, he's on his keyboard, and then he's like, "We're getting to the edge," and everyone's at the edge of their seats, "We're getting ready to go." And then he's like, "Oh, we're there." And then everyone's like, "What's gonna happen?" I'm going to drink my mule. Because Crystal brought him a Moscow mule. So he drank his mule and bam, and that was it. And everyone's like, what? So I just thought you guys might like that. You know, that's Rob at his greatest. You know, I think you were there too, and he like introduced you, and you know, it was one of those funny parties. You know, but yeah, Rob was larger than life. You know, I fixed his grass for like 4 years, 1 month before the conference, because he had to have a perfect lawn for every one of you guys to come over for the backyard party. It had to be like you could get your shoes off and walk in. He would walk on it, you know, like a month before when I fertilized it. I'm like, Rob, you know, the fertilizer is poisonous. He's like, no, it's okay. I'm, you know, the Venusian said I'm okay. I'm like, okay. He's like, God, my feet are burning. I'm like, Rob. You know, so we all have our stories. But yeah, you know, I'm just reflecting on all this. I got to tell you, I mean, when I think Keegan texted me 30 minutes after they found me. And, you know, I'm autistic, so this is hard. I mean, right now I'm just starting to process this. And the only thing I could think of doing was immediately letting Chris Carter know. Right after that, I got in contact with JD. So that kind of like started the ball rolling on, you know, crucial people in the circle here, notifying others. You know, and then I thought about this, you know, like when Beloved, you know, we had that little meeting when we had the thing about, are we pulling this off, you know? And we realized, you know, we had to do this because, I mean, Joanna, and I forget what her other name is, there's Joanna right there. She called me because she just heard about it, and she's like, oh my God, I got this book that, you know, they come from Arizona. And I assured her that we had a meeting and we said we're doing this, you know. But the main thing here that I realized yesterday after I got done with my program and everything is what Rob has done here is created a family. All of us. This is way beyond. My thought was when I found he's passed, I'm like, well, geez, we have got the greatest loss on this planet right now. And how are we going to keep this going? Because he, with his energy and everything, he's you know, one of the few people that could organize something like this and keep it going. You know, so I don't know what the future holds, but I really hope that, you know, going forward, we can keep this going, you know, because, you know, I hope Raymond comes out and Omnic, you keep coming out, because there's just so many more people that need to learn all these teachings. Yeah. Well, that's what I'll end on. I'm going to say I took a group. We couldn't get on the mandala over here because it was too soon with no notice. So I took this woman named Hope. I did a retreat with her last year right here. I took her and her 13 people out to the 97 desert to this thing I call the brain. And then we set up in a little circle that's there for contact. I was talking about Rob and about how he had just passed, and I was so happy that I was able to get through that to help them do their presentations and stuff. And as soon as we were talking about Rob, a giant orange orb ship came up from behind Shasta and came right over us, and it stopped for a few seconds or so before it continued on and phased out. And I was like, and we're like, well, looks like Rob got his ship. So I really want to believe, because he always wanted his ship. And I'm going to pass it off to Keegan.
I learned, or I met Rob after following Dr. Fred Bell and his podcast and all of his information and research, and just the mind of that man, and getting the Billy Meyer contact when Billy got a little too big in his britches, and learning everything that Fred Bell was talking about. I was just keeping up with him, just barely, when he was just dumbing it down for everybody. But I really was fascinated, and he would always talk about, you know, not always, but every once in a while he'd mention Rob Potter, he and Rob, and I thought, man, it'd be great to meet you guys. And I moved here to Shasta just because it was south of where I was coming from, and it was beautiful and sunny and not rainy and overcast, so it was a good place to pull over, get some food, and it turns out it was a great place. had a spring, cool people, and I decided to set up shop here. A little while later, I meet Rob Potter, and I'm thinking this can't be the Rob Potter that I've heard so much about, that I know he has no idea who I am. So I just started talking. I was like, "Hey, have you ever you ever listen to Dr. Fred Bell?" And he was like, "Yeah, he was my best friend." And I said, "No shit, you're Rob Potter." He's like, "Yeah, that's what I said. I'm Rob Potter." So no, okay, you did. So from then on, I just got to know him. He was just a real down to earth guy, and really, there was no Rob Potter for the world and then the Rob Potter behind the scenes. That's the same person. And anybody who's been to his conferences knows there is not a perfect man in front of you. He is probably just as flawed, if not more, than all of us. And it just was so proud about it. Not just, I would say he owned it. Not so much that he was proud of it, but he would own it. And sometimes he'd come back and was like, I'm sorry, I was a bit heated and this and that. And, well, my leg's been killing me and I'm sorry, but, and it's like, I get it, man, I get it. You're human. That's so cool, Well, that's even more relatable, man. So I really just wanted to get to know him on a personal level and did. And I got to say, that's how I know from experience. He's the same Rob Potter. He's down to earth. I'd come in and he'd be jamming, to some music, and he's like, hey, I'm going to turn this up. This is a good part. And, crying for music as he's eating some food, and, he's working on his computer trying to make it do a thing. And I'm there to just do the dishes and vacuum, because it's hard for him to go and do all of this stuff. It'd take him like 20 minutes to do a task that takes me 2. And going up and down the stairs, hauling stuff. So I was just blessed that I could help this man with anything that he needs. And in the process, I get to hear Kim Goguen and the update in the background. And yeah, can you keep it down? Like, no vacuuming. I'm going to be doing a thing with Kim, and I got to, make sure nobody's behind me or anything. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And I just sit on the stairs and just listen, and cool, all right. And it was pretty cool to be a fly on the wall in Rob Potter's life. I must say, he's got some stories. What really makes me shed a tear is the fact that man and everything he's experienced, the people he's met, the lives he's touched, the memories he has. What a vivid life. And it's such a tragedy that it won't get to continue on being vivid in the way I'm used to it. But then I realized, it's not about you, Keegan. There is way more going on out here than just you and you missing him and, getting to, tease him about how he didn't say box instead of bag and all of that stuff. So I'll just always remember Rob being cantankerous and boisterous and more joyful than anyone I know. So in that, I will say, Rob, you will be missed, and as always, victory to the light.
I just want to say that Keegan, I don't know if you guys know, or if you work with him, he was very difficult to work with. But Keegan had the most patience I've seen out of anyone, probably. Him and Seth, oh my goodness. I don't know how they stuck around him for so long. So, amazing. But yeah, he used to walk around naked all the time. I'd come back from school and always naked with his ice cream. That was like a classic.
That's for sure.
If you were around then and you ever just dropped into his house and he was just especially at night, he left his Haagen-Dazs and just want some ice cream. But yeah, does anyone else have any other stories that they want to share?
I do now. Yeah, this is brought up. We all have, I feel like, in trying to work and be and find our way in this world, we go down some paths that are lessons and or not our true purpose. And so I remember when, I don't know, I was coming back from somewhere because I was always traveling. And so Rob was living in Oregon, out, in the woods, or a piece of land. There was meadows and woods and whatnot. So I went up there and we were living together. And he was growing mushrooms. He had the mycelia, that whole thing dialed in indoors, growing the psychedelic mushrooms. And it ended up causing a lot of stress to him. I mean, working with that world is, it was an illegal underground world. So, and eventually I just feel like, he was working with a brother that was kind of wild and crazy in his own way. A beautiful, very beautiful soul, this other one, but he kept getting busted. And so that's when Rob went through his, what do you call that, in the colon? And he had his colon surgery. All that stress. He got a lot of stress dealing with the mushrooms and trying to sell them and all of that stuff. And then it didn't really work. So then his mother was taking care of him. And I visited him down there in Laguna Beach during that time when he was in recuperation from surgery. And so I just see that as a phase before this conference. You see that he was still, he only wanted, it's like all of us I feel like all of us have gone through this thing. I'm going to make some money over here so I can do what I really want. And I mean, it seems like most all teachers say, just do what you want to do your passion, and, it'll unfold. And I think that's what he eventually found that way and was doing that. So that was another little chapter, the hidden life of Rob Potter. Thank you. Well, on that note then, let's sing something for Rob. It's a simple song. It's joy to the world, joy to the people, joy to you and me. So our brother Jeremiah is here, and I know it's Jeremiah. Jeremiah is a bullfrog, but the chorus. Let's do the chorus. Joy to the world, joy to the people, joy to you and me, everybody. Joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Okay. Joy to the world. Thank you. All the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Joy to the world. All the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me.
If I was the king of the world, I'll tell you what I do. I throw away and only make it common bar to make sweet love to you. Sing it. Joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Dun, dun. Joy to the world. All the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Yeah, 'cause we are the ones creating a new earth, coming together to give it birth. So let us join our hearts and our minds as one and shine like the sun. Yeah, joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Well, thank you so much, family, for sharing your heart and love. 'Cause that is what gives us so much riches and joy. Come on now, let me hear you sing. All the boys and girls.
One more verse. Yes, you are the kings and queens of the new earth. That's why we took birth. So step right into your power. Thank you for this very hour. Joy, you and me. Come on. Yeah. Well, I'm glad y'all got it right.
Yeah, the thing that really impressed me the most about Rob was I'm a great fan of comedy. I said humor is anti-tumor, so can't get enough comedy in life. And Rob had that great sense of humor, but when I look at him, it reminds me of Chris Farley and then that big guy on Saturday Night Live. It's just something about his persona. He was so good. And like I said the other day, I came up here unannounced, no plans really to come to Mount Shasta. Came for Bali Fest. No, Bhakti Fest. Anyways, I stayed with Rob for 5 days and, just really living with him for like a briefest of moments. I just seen the side of him and he was also not at that point, on his game, but he said he was motivated and he was going to every day get on his bike. And that's why I was really surprised. But anyway, blessed. And the masters have said that Rob, like most people, he warrants enough light that he makes his ascension. He is making his ascension now, but he's here today in spirit. He hasn't quite gone to but he's made the ascension. And I want to say, let's give him a big round of applause. Rob Potter. Big Rob.
Baba Rob God. That's the name he loved. He loved being called Baba Rob God.
We're in the energy zone. And some of you know me, I'm Michelle Hodan Newman. And I channel the Galactic Council of Star System Sirius. We're very serious, y'all know. and my husband Eliyahu resided on Venus for a while in his strategy of soul. And I am actually doing what I do because of Celestine Starr, who then brought us up to meet Rob in the Venusian conference, etc. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm simply going to say that Rob had me on his show a few times, channeling, and my medicine is the bowls. And so what we are going to do just now is we've had a lot of talk and everybody is speaking from their heart and their feelings. And now we take all of those feelings, everything that surrounds the crystal man into the crystal soup. And we're going to create our own cosmic crystal soup together with all the beautiful prayers and love and heart devotion. And as I play, like stirring the cauldron, it's as if we all have like the story stone soup, where everybody brings something to put into the bowl. So just keep throwing it into the bowls as I play, and we'll all just hold the energy of all of these beautiful prayers and love rising up into the cosmos. We're hearing the sounds already. There they are. There they are. Into the cosmos, and then we'll all feel that special, delicate energy fall down upon us like a gentle mist, and we'll all just bliss out in the cosmic crystal rain or mist or whatever.
You want this for the bowls? Or
I think the bowls are loud.
you'll just put it right there and just wait till
This is good. Is it? Okay. All right. That's probably loud. My voice is loud. Bashini kola mataveti Shemishko panasha Niviji Hey, oh, Mike, Bachome, yeah. May we all continue the work and bring in the light for our new earth.
Rob and I had a celestial and cosmic love affair. and he loves me and I love him. We love you, Rob.
Amen.
Excuse me. Is there still time for one more person to speak?
Of course. There's time for infinity eternity. Right here.
Who was wanting? All right, Chris. Excuse me for sudden intrusion. I personally knew Rob for about 2 years. I've assisted him with certain chores around this place. Whenever he needed me, he'd call on me. However, just being here with this farewell ceremony for Rob, Telos has been watching through my eyes. They are gathered in their central pyramid. And I saw the council at the front, and they were all just in awe of all of y'all's energies coming together. And they would like to say thank you for observing such an amazing starseed on his way out. That is their message to you.
Thank you, Fred.
Scott is the owner of this land and was so gracious to host this because it was kind of a little bit of a disaster here in a way, you know. And so, but of course, since we're all such amazing, tremendously loving beings that love to come together and have a good time, he agreed to it. There was definitely some times when it just looked like it wasn't going to happen. And of course, that's how it always goes, I guess, right? It's like, oh, is the ascension going to happen? Are we going to have the mass ascension? Does Saint Germain really exist? This is the Violet Temple, all right? So for Saint Germain, there's a picture of him right there. And yes, he lives in Mount Shasta. So I was thinking I would sing a Violet Flame song. Since you want to? You like to say something about the Violet Flame?
Yeah, you do. I can tell. Yeah, Brian, you definitely do.
So yeah, the Violet Flame is important to me. That's what brought me to Mount Shasta. This is what really brought me to Mount Shasta. In 1980, I found out about the Ascended Masters. Some people came to my university from the Summit Lighthouse, and it's like, this is my identity. I identify with the Ascended Masters. Then I found out about the I Am activity. So all my life, since then, I'm like, I need to go to Mount Shasta because that's where Saint Germain revealed himself. So I ended up being here because of Rob Potter and Omnic, because of my interest in them. And I kind of got to fulfill my dream. So, but the Violet Flame is like what they talk about, the Holy Spirit, or the way, it's a way to make the ascension happen in your human life. I believe there's other ways, but it's taught that Saint Germain taught that the Violet Flame is the quickest way for us to have ascension in our human life. Because there's a lot of things we did in the past that maybe weren't good. So we need more Violet Flame right now. That's how I instantly bonded with Beloved, because I knew she was serious about the Violet Flame. You really are. And that's one of the reasons you're able to pull this off. Because you know the Masters, this is our motto in the Ascended Master teaching, the light of God never fails. So whatever we go through, it's going to happen that we make it through, even when it seems like it isn't. You've had that experience with your illness, that maybe you felt like, I'm not going to be here any longer, but you're still here because you persevered. So we need to take that on. I think that's what Rob represented, perseverance. He kept going and he stayed strong. Even in his last days, he was strong.
He ate all the cookies and ice cream he wanted.
I do the same thing, and people say,
Diabetic state. So
thank you.
he wanted to have fun, and that is like, that was something when I was reading Blue Soul Earth, this couple, they channel Jesus and Mary,
And they just wrote a book called The Magdalene's Journey. That was one of the things Jesus said was, we've suffered so much for so long. And like, you know, it's really important to enjoy the pleasures of life. You know, it was, don't drink the bitter wine. Back then they drank a lot of wine because it was actually healthier than the water. But we're all, you know, in this new frequency, living in a place that actually has pristine water to drink. So, I mean, that is the new wine, the Shasta water. So, yeah. Nice hat, Peter. All right. So yeah, play along and dance, and Serene hopefully is gonna dance. Where's your father? What? We're ready for him. Yeah. Now's the time. I'm just gonna have this. Maybe not, actually. Let's not have an electronic drum, because I have Chris. Yeah, and you got freaking David Phillips here, master drummer.
Yeah, let's not try to replace
I was like,
it
hello,
just yet.
beloved, be here now. I guess we're waiting for Skip. Whatever, he's coming.
How's the keyboard? Is it coming through the...
loving you, loving you, loving you. Healing you, healing you, healing you. Blessing you, blessing you, blessing you. Loving you, loving you, loving you. Healing you. Shabbat.
The messages are everywhere. Live your dream, just be aware. 'Cause Mount Zion is shining clear. And all of us are so dear. We are the heart flames of the violet flame. And now we're marching into the new earth together in one name. It's called joy, love, harmony, peace and family. Health for everyone. All the nations together under the great shining sun. One people joined in a sacred whole. I hear the native brothers chanting, hey, away, away, Tonga Sheila, let them know, yeah. And in India too, they'll say, J, 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 love to you. In every nation, every tongue, everyone's gathered for the one. Let I thank you, family, for your loving now, opening the door to the new reality, the shining way, the glory of the great coming day. Hallelujah, be upon the earth. Thank you, family. Oh, yeah. Children of light, blessed ones, holy Christ, you've become. Walking that truth and living now. Oh, you know just how. And use all of the teachings here to reach the great goal without any fear. Oh, bless Mother Earth this night with shining, shining, glorious light.
violet flame, blazing, blazing, transmuting, dissolving, consuming everything that doesn't serve our highest good ascension and freedom, and the highest good ascension and freedom for all beings. As quickly as possible, so be it.
I'm used to like playing the set, and so I'm just playing it that way, and then listening to these guys trying to not overstep and just jam.
We got the drummers going and the bass player, so we're gonna let them keep running for a few more minutes. See what we can. And please, if there's anyone you want to say how much you appreciate, to share your appreciation, your love to anyone here, do that. Here we go. Come on, everybody, just move and breathe. Move and breathe. Cause I saw Onek coming in a starship from Venus into Tibet. And Martin Luther King said, yes, my family, I'm not done with you yet. Go ahead, give somebody a hug. Victory Day, this is victory on earth. Victory to the light. That was Rob's, the name of Rob's show. Victory to the light. Let it flow. Victory to the light. We love you. Yeah, come on, play that drum, play that drum.